Hey, friends. So today I want to talk about something I'm calling facial subtitles. I had a conversation with someone who was told that she needed to control her facial expressions. And I get where that can come from, right? Like we're emotional beings. Our faces say a lot. And in some settings like negotiations, right? A poker face might be super helpful, but day to day in meetings, especially in engineering and technical meetings, our faces are data, right? Our expressions are very important. And when everyone sits there just like stone faced, it's really hard to know if our ideas are landing, right? Um, and that matters because if something isn't clear and no one is signaling it, we can leave these meetings without alignment, without real discussion, without real discourse, and without true buy-in because our facial expressions, right? It's a bit of a feedback loop. A raised eyebrow, a confused look, right? If I'm nodding and smiling, all of that is information that the room can use, the speakers can use. So for me, whenever I see that something, isn't landing, it gives me a chance to pause and ask, hey, what's a little confusing here? Is there something you'd like me to unpack further? Would you like me to go back and clarify a little bit? Because at the end of the day, right, like we can't innovate if everybody just silently nods and agrees, right? That's not innovation. Innovation really comes from that respectful pushback, right? It comes from curiosity. It comes from people being brutally honest about what they're experiencing in real time. Because I've unfortunately been in plenty of meetings where people just kind of like nod along and then shared their real opinions after the meeting, right, in the hallway or in the chats where, not everybody can contribute. That's where momentum dies because we can't address it if no one talks about it, if we don't bring it to the surface. So Nikki's hot take, right? We need facial subtitles. We need more of them, not fewer. We need to see each other. We need to see whether or not something is landing. We need to show whether or not we're confused because it gives others permission to ask questions and speak. We need to show that disagreement because that's what invites discussion and discourse. And we have to show if we're actually understanding and agreeing because that's what builds momentum, right? Helps us stack and continue to build on an idea. Because again, I've lost count of how many times somebody has messaged me after a meeting saying, hey, I didn't get that either. Thank you so much for asking, right? Because somebody saw my face and it was a little confused. And they said, hey, Nikki, you seem a little confused. What's not landing for you? And I would ask a question because my expressions, right, they helped the room learn faster. So don't hide them. Use them with intention. Pair them with words. And remember, clarity is a shared responsibility, right? Clear is kind, including our facial expressions. So if it's landing, let people see it on your face. And if it's not, let them see that too. So more facial subtitles.